Welcome to TOC Europe. You gave a fascinating presentation today. Perhaps you can first tell us a little bit about yourselves first.
I'm Stephen Ryan. I'm the Head of Engineering for Hutchison Ports UK.
I'm Jaroslaw Warzecha. I'm the Director of the Business Unit Port from VAHLE Group.
Sustainability is really important at Hutchison Ports. Perhaps you can just say a little bit more about your scale of ambition there.
Hutchison Ports have for quite a few years now, and so from 2019, had a very thorough sustainability strategy that's been in place. So we are marching down that road for sustainability. We've got clear aims to decarbonise, to eradicate Scope 1 and Scope 2 CO2 emissions by 2035, and a robust plan to achieve that one, and then to become fully net zero by 2050, so the Scope 3 aspect.
The presentation was specifically about Port of Felixstowe, so what sort of activities regarding sustainability have you been carrying out at Felixstowe?
We've been building a plan. When it comes to net zero, we've been building a plan mostly based around the electrification of our equipment at the moment, whether that's the rubber tire gantry cranes, which we're progressing through. We've also implemented and procured 48 electric internal tugs, tractors, and also we're in the process of commissioning autonomous trucks as well, which are the electric version. We've looked at our power generation requirements from the grid, so the supply of power, and we've moved towards 100% renewable energy from our suppliers. So we've already made massive steps towards our net zero roadmap, and we're continuing to do that for the next 9-10 years to ensure that we meet those targets.
Jaroslaw, where does VAHLE fit into all of this?
Yeah, VAHLE came in, I think it's nearly 10 years ago when we started the first consultancy with regard the Port of Felixstowe. And it started really with a pilot project in an existing terminal, the Trinity terminal in Port of Felixstowe. So we started there with converting 2 container blocks with conductor rails and 4 rubber-tired gantry cranes to retrofit them to an electric gantry crane. So it means like as long the RTGs has worked in the container blocks, they have been completely zero emission and only used the generator by changing the container blocks. This was the first step we started together, and after a pilot test phase of a half year, it was really interesting at that time with the cost reduction on fuel save, and also a nice effect was the environmental benefit. And this was, I think, the first step and the first milestone to start. Afterwards, we converted the fleet in the Trinity terminal, and then later on we started with a new berth, a new terminal, berth 9, where even the next step came after electrification, even remote operated equipment.
And what sort of innovations are you bringing to the party?
Yes, first of all, it was just the electrification of that, to bring it in with less moving parts, like a reliable electrification system by conductor rails, which is really maintenance less. And later on, we brought in data communication and positioning systems to enable remote operated operation, which means no driver is required on an RTG, which gives a big flexibility in operating the terminal.
There must have been a lot of challenges along the way. Perhaps you can describe some of them to us.
Absolutely. I think, these are highly complex projects. We have a large number of highly complex projects, and the complexity of those and the aspects that you have to consider go way beyond just the replacement of the asset. So we've got to look at our entire infrastructure and our ability of our infrastructure to get the power of the right quality and quantity to the place where it's needed. So it's really been a complex and challenging roadmap that we're on, and we've got that again to come for the next number of years. So it's definitely an interesting and challenging time. And this is where we rely on the collaboration really between the terminal operators and the equipment suppliers and multiple equipment suppliers. It's critical for us that the relationships and that collaboration between all parties is efficient and works well for all parties concerned.
And Jaroslaw, finally, what sort of new technologies are you likely to implement at Felixstowe in the future?
I think for us it's really like that when we start a collaboration with a customer, which is nowadays even a partner, that we try to support this partner not only for one single project, but also to join them on this journey to get to zero emissions. And I mean, there are many challenges are coming. Now we have a lot of experience with RTGs, even now with full zero emission RTGs, because we have batteries on the cranes. But the next step is really to see what is the next equipment of interest. And I think we can see in Felixstowe we have not only EV trucks, we have even autonomous EV trucks. And the next challenge is how to charge them in the best way, in a best efficient way for the operation.
Well, thank you both very much, and it's been a pleasure talking to you here at TOC Europe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.